Toast to the Morning Word crowd. God bless y'all and God bless America. Hey, I just want to ask you guys to, if you would, when you think about it, just repost this, share it or whatever. Link it to some things so we could get the word out. All right, you ready? Proverbs 14, verse 12. I was reading this morning, kind of caught my eye, thinking about the things in the world, what's going on, why craziness seems to be running rampant, and people just making just poor decisions with their life, not understanding the ramifications. Maybe they do, maybe they don't care, I don't know. But this verse says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. There's a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. You know, certainly, I'm just assuming maybe that's a dangerous thing to do, but most people do not set out to make decisions with the intention of shipwrecking their life. That they just, I don't think people are that stupid yet. Of course, nothing ceases to amaze me this day as, what's his name said, Chevy Chase on Christmas Vacation. I wouldn't be any more surprised if I woke up with my head sewed to the carpet. But I just don't think that the people that are making these silly, irrational, ungodly, immoral decisions are doing so with the intention of ruining their life. And so I have to assume and think that these people think that what they're doing is right for the most part. Some of these people that are, and I'll just share with you, I'm not going to share the person's name, but there's a person, I won't even tell you the gender because for some reason this video might get in front of them and I don't want that to happen. But, you know, they are a believer, and we speak all the time at the gym to one another. Very nice person, just very nice. Cordial, friendly. And so this person is a proclaimed believer and faithfully attends a church, this person and their spouse. And I know the church that they go to, they told me in a discussion that we had one time. And this person is as liberal leaning as you could be. This person, when they go into the gym, if everything's on Fox News, they'll put up MSNBC. And anyway, one day, y'all excuse me, I've got all this sinus stuff going on. One day I had on I Stand with Trump, and this person asked me, and their spouse, they kind of confronted me about it. And I said, and about his womanizing and all of that. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's one up there that hadn't been running to women, at least before they got to the White House. But I'm not condoning that. I think it's wrong. And because of it, Trump's had a lot of problems and lawsuits and so forth. I said, but he's the right person for the right job out of the people that are running, because this person over here talking about his candidate, I said, and I went down the list. Well, anyway, my position in all that is this. Let's just look at, here's a Christian person that says that they're liberal. It comes down on the liberal side. Now, certainly, any person that takes this Bible and opens it up and is intellectually honest with himself cannot reconcile the liberal Democratic platform and the Bible. Now, that doesn't mean that all conservatives are Christians or that all Christians are conservative and holier than thou. But you just can't reconcile it. You can't say I'm a Christian and lean left. with all the stuff that they stand for: open borders, open marriages, same-sex marriages, girls in sport, boys and girls sports, transgenderism, lesbianism, homosexualism, the whole 9 yards. You just can't reconcile it. But yet these people think that they are right. Now, in making decisions, okay, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that the little decisions we need to get God involved in, not just the big decisions. We need God involved in all of our little bitty decisions. But I find that these decisions, these rationalizations, I guess you could say, they're able to rationalize them along some line that brings peace to their mind, I guess. It makes them feel good. But again, the end therein is death. It says there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. And so what, some of the things that people, when they make these decisions, is, are taking the easy way out, I think, for most of them, which is just feeding into their flesh and the temptations of the world and the devil. And it offers these decisions, these poor decisions that these people are making, adults and young adults, offer them a lot of options, but little sacrifice. This is what you're going to find. I'm just going to give you a couple of things that when you know that people are probably getting ready to make a bad decision, either a life decision, a life course decision. And number one is that they have a lot of options, and none of their options require of them much sacrifice. And so the morning word is this: the easy way is usually wrong. Okay, you can just write that down and put that in your hat, and just know that generally speaking, the easy way is usually wrong. It requires little sacrifice on our part. It's easy because it allows us to be lazy. It allows us to be lazy. I'll just give you the simplest, most minutest example, and it's with kids today. My son and my daughter, Elena and Micah, do this. Now, it's not a big thing, you know. I'm going to tell you just a second. It's not a big thing, but it's indicative of what I'm talking about. How many of y'all, don't raise your hand if it's you, how many of y'all have kids or know people that have tennis shoes and they put them on one time, laced them up, and that was the last time they ever laced them up? They take them off and they put them on without unlacing them. They take their shoes off and put their shoes on without unlacing them or tying them up. Y'all know people that do that? Now, that's just a pet peeve with me, but it's been going on so long in my house, I'm almost conditioned to it. But with these kids, but it's a life choice, okay? It's a life choice that allows them to be lazy. They just don't want to take the time to unlace their shoe and lace their shoe. So therefore, they kick the backside of it out, you know, wear it out, and then their shoe slips on their foot. It's crazy. It would drive me nuts. But another thing that is indicative of an easy decision and why people make it is that it requires little change. I don't have to make, as I said a while ago, a sacrifice. I don't have to make a change. I can stay the way I am and still do what I want to do. You know, so we make these life choices, and we always want to lean in the way and make the choice. We want to make the choice that allows us to stay like we are. Human nature hates change. We like routine. We like to do things our way, and we don't like to change. I don't like to change. You don't like to change. But generally speaking, the difficult the big decisions in life and the difficult decisions in life, just life in general, requires us to make changes. My mother has a cell phone. I'm going to guess that it may have 10,000 emails and text messages on it. She don't read them. She don't know how to read them. She just uses it for a phone. And half the time when she's calling you, she gets the number wrong, or when she answers it to talk to you, she hangs up. It's just something, and she says, now, mind you, you know how long cell phones have been out. She's just never had the desire to put forth the mental energy and time that it takes to learn how to operate a cell phone at a minimal technical level. She's just not willing to do that. And again, that's just a small sample size. It's just a small example of being unwilling to make a choice or to make a decision that requires some effort, some sacrifice, and some change on our part. Another thing that tends to greatly influence our choices is that we tend to make choices that have no restraint, put no restrictions on our morality. We're just not going to try to hem ourselves in morally. We want to be able to have options, right? We want to be able to have options out there when it comes to morality. So we get into what we call situational ethics or situational morality, meaning, well, it's wrong there, but it may not be wrong here. If I'm a grown man and I'm dating a grown woman and we've been married before, then we can date and have sex, that all of this abstinence is for these teenagers and these college kids. You see how we rationalize? I'm an adult. She's been married. I've been married. She's been married. So it's doesn't apply to us. So I just use that. May be a poor example, but that's just a small snapshot of how we make decisions and head off down. It says there's a way that seems right to a man. So we're making decisions that seem right to us, but they're not good decisions because, generally speaking, they don't require any sacrifice or change, or they allow me to be lazy. They make others change. They make others work. My decisions do. It requires much of others, but it doesn't require much of me. It's easy. Doesn't hem me in morally, gives me a lot of outs and options. And that's what we have today, is people just floating through life, making life choices based on ease, the lack of moral restraint, laziness, no sacrifice. And so I'll give you an example with me. I wanted to be a dentist. The story's long. I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to go to dental school. I wanted to go to college, and I wanted to go to dental school at the University of Colorado. I love the Rocky Mountains. Colorado wasn't a liberal state then, back in the 70s. And I said, I want to go be a dentist. I want to make some good money. I want to have finite hours, Monday through Friday. I don't want to work weekends. I don't want to be on call, so therefore I don't want to be a physician. So I want to be a dentist. So I got to investigating the requirements for dental school. Dental school had a buttload. I'm talking about a buttload of what I considered unnecessary math, calculus, pre-calculus, all that stuff. And I didn't want to put forth the mental energy for that. So I just changed directions. I just partied my way right out of school and went to the Marine Corps. I went to Alabama, was going to major in advertising and mass communications. Happened to go to school for a semester, didn't go to class half the time, wound up in the Marine Corps. Again, I thought I was going the right way, but it was the easy way, and the easy way was the wrong way. So I had to go figure it out, and that took some doing. But the Marine Corps will help you figure things out, right? They may not point you in the direction that you should go, but they will definitely point you in the direction that you don't want to go. So I started figuring it out, came back, got married, had children, went back to school, and while I was fully employed, and paid for it myself with some other assistance. So my point is this: when we're making decisions, don't take the easy way just because it's easy, just because it allows you to be lazy, doesn't put any moral constraints on you. It doesn't require any sacrifice or change on your part, but always imposes those things upon others. Don't do that. That's going to take you, you think you're going the right way, it's going to take you down the wrong path. You're going to end up in a little town called Oh No. And you're going to wonder how you got there. Well, let me tell you how you got there. You took the easy way instead of the right way. So let's think about those things. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Good Lord willing, and the saints don't rise. Peace out.